Welcome to Motorhead Garage. Well, you know, we get a lot of feedback from you viewers, things you want to see that Dave and I have done in the past. You want to check out some products. You want to see the jobs we've done. So we decided to make it real easy for you. We dug into the archives, and we're going to bring some of our best stuff right to you. Now, let's check out Dave. He's with a great product. It's called Evaporust.
You know, if you're into restoring old vehicles, you may find an old rust bucket like this laying around. And I'll tell you, time and water will dissolve about everything, as you can see with this truck. But if you got parts that you might want to try to salvage off of something like this or any other old car or vehicle, you want to know how to clean them properly. Now, I have a couple of fuel pumps here. You know, whether it's made out of steel or aluminum or pot metal, you got to learn how to take off the corrosion and the rust safely so you don't destroy the part. And we got Dave Harris here from Evaporust. And Dave, you got some little tricks of the trade here that show us how to clean these off without destroying them.
Yeah, that's true. We make Evaporust rust remover. It's a non-toxic rust remover, and it is a new type of chemistry over the old acid products. The old acid products were developed in the turn of the century, and they eat rust, but they also eat soft metals. Our product removes rust without damaging the metal underneath, and I'll show you. We've got a common rust remover right here. This is an acid-based product.
Yeah.
I'm just going to drop this in there. Like
Now that's like pot metal on there, right?
I believe that.
Yeah, it's like aluminum or pot metal.
We'll drop that in there, and in the meantime, we'll pour in the Evaporust. Evaporust has no acids. It's pH neutral. It's non-toxic. It's non-corrosive. We don't have to wear gloves. We don't have to wear safety glasses. We just pour it into a tub, and then we start throwing our parts into it and letting them soak. We don't have to worry about them being damaged at all.
Okay.
And we'll drop this one in there. You can see the rusty areas there. We'll just drop him down there like so.
So now this one, I can see this is just bubbling and going away. It looks like it's cleaning it. And of course this is, it takes a little while for that, right?
It doesn't move. It doesn't really look like it's doing much, but it is.
Okay, now I can smell this. This is, I can smell odor coming off of that.
That's right. You're going to smell the acid. Let's pull it up and see what it's doing so far. It hasn't been in there over a minute. But you can see it's already, I don't want to use my hand on it.
Yeah, but I can see what you're talking about, though. If you pull it up,
it's chewing away on it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can see it starting to chew right here. It's starting to eat right on through the end of it.
It is already, and that's just been a few seconds in there, but we'll let it sit in there and see what happens first. Does the rust get removed or does the part get eaten?
Well, I don't know. The way it's going right now, I'm beginning to think that the rust may be there and the part will be gone. Maybe that's how that works. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to let this stay in there for a while. We'll see how this works. I'm anxious to see how it goes.
I am too.
This will be a good example of what you need to know in order to clean your parts properly.
Time now for Brothers Truck Parts Project 72. Restoration tips and techniques for a 1972 Chevy Suburban with Sam and Steve Flanders.
Welcome to another edition of the Brothers Project 72. We're going to make the interior really nice. There's nothing better than a nice, comfortable, clean interior. Look at this cracked, ugly dash pad. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to do a nice change on the instruments, add a tachometer. We're going to take this worn-out tilt steering column out. And, of course, this truck's pretty neat. Had factory air. We got a center vent. We got these vents on the side. I'm going to start taking these off. What do you think?
I think it's time.
All right. All right, taking this instrument cluster out is pretty easy. Take all the switch bezels off. You know, the headlight switch, you push the button, pull the staff out. The button's on the top of the headlight switch. Get all your screws out. You reach behind this and unplug the speedometer cable. When you pull the panel out, there's going to be a wire connector here. You squeeze the tabs. This goes to the printed circuit. Get that off. Now what Steve's wrestling with there is a hard oil pressure line. This had a mechanical oil pressure gauge with a copper line. Got a little brass fitting in it, a 5/16 wrench to take it right out. Am I putting too much pressure on it for you, anybody?
No, we're good.
Let me see if I can try it by hand. There we go.
There we go.
All right, and there's our panel. These are where the little lights are and stuff. We're going to replace this whole unit.
All right, Sam, here's another tip to help taking the ignition switch out. You turn it to accessory, and then there's a little tiny hole in there, and if you stick a paper clip in that hole, you'll feel it push a little button. Once it pushes the button, we get it past accessory, the switch pops right out.
That's a great little tip, and you can see the little hole right there. This is your tumbler assembly. That's how you take it out. when you're doing this kind of work, always disconnect the battery ground cable. Now we got the dash all apart. Next week, we're gonna put it all together.
Let's check out and see how our fuel pumps are coming. We wanted to get them all cleaned up from rust and corrosion, so let's see what's going on here. So David, we've had them in here for at least a recommended length of time.
Right.
So what do we got going here?
Well, this is the acid product, and you can see the foam that it's putting up right here, and you can smell.
Yeah, I can smell it all right.
It gets after you, and we'll pull it out in here and show you. We left this in for 30 minutes, and then we just put it back in to kind of show how it foams. But in that 30 minutes, you can see it's already...
It's got a hole in it right there.
It's eaten apart. And you can see we still have rust all around.
Yeah.
So before it's able to remove the rust, it'll actually eat your part. And that really does a quick job of eating that.
That's why you got to be careful, folks, especially with a lot of like logos or medallions or that type of thing you find on cars. And you try to clean them up, you got to be real careful what you clean them in. So
That's right.
obviously I wouldn't put them in that.
No, and you've got to wear gloves, you've got to wear the safety glasses.
Right.
This is, this is the evapor rust. The evapor rust, I can use my hand without gloves,
Yeah.
and you can see everything is clean. Everything is...
Well, that's even working, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And you can unthread this now,
Yeah.
do what you need to do here.
You couldn't have done that before, the way that was rusted.
Not at all. And you can see the body of the pump is completely unharmed.
So when you wash that off with water, you can take it all apart. You could rebuild, save it, and you got the original pump on there. Of course, this is just an example of what you can do. You can
Right.
use it for a lot of other things as well.
Right. And as you when you pull this out, you're going to rinse it with water, dry it, and then you're going to spray it down with our product, Rust Block. Which is going to prevent that from rusting for about a year until you're ready to do whatever it is you're going to do further with it.
Well, in my case, it'd probably be a year. Anyway, now I got a question for you. This is pretty hazardous stuff, or at least it looks like it. Certainly that is.
It is
How do you get rid of it?
Well, the hazardous, I have no idea. This is easy. Most people can put it down the drain. If you don't want to put it down the drain, when it's spent, it's completely full of iron. It's liquid iron. You can take it outside, put it in a pump-up sprayer, and spray it on your grass or your yard. It will keep your grass green for about 6 weeks.
There you go, folks. No waste. This is a safe way to clean your parts.
We'll be back with more Motorhead Garage after this.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Evapo Rust, super safe rust remover. Ultra Dent, manufacturer of paintless dent repair tools. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, folks, you know, Sam and I spend a lot of time here in the garage, but every now and then we like to hit the road, don't we, Sam?
That's right. So recently, we took a trip to California and we visited our friends out there in Riverside at Ultra Dent Tool.
Hey, they said that we'd find you guys.
Hey guys,
Hey, Steve,
how's
how
it
are
going?
you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you
Good to
guys.
see you again, man. How you been?
All right, doing great.
Hey, folks, I want you to meet Steve Hoff. Now, he is the owner and the guy that's designed all these tools here at Ultra Dent Tools. And Steve, we just pulled up in a little Chevelle that we found.
Really?
A little slight dent in it, yeah. So just thought possibly you might be able to save us.
Well, hopefully I can help you out.
What are you working on here?
Well, I was just getting ready to remove a dent from this Harley tank, and I got a little dent right here. It's not too big, but it's noticeable. And
Wonder how we did that. That's a pretty serious tank.
yeah, they're pretty thick. I mean, it takes quite a bit to dent them, but I'm going to go ahead and take that dent out.
In most cases, if somebody's got a big dent on there, you'd have to drive it out and fill it and sand it and paint it and all that. You call this paintless dent removal, right?
Correct.
So you can, instead of spending about $800 to get a tank painted, after it's straightened and restriped, you can do it with that tool. Let's see you do this.
Boy, look at that, Sam. That's gone. I can't believe it.
It is totally gone. And you know, folks, if you don't have broken paint, this is the way to go. You never know that dent was there. Now, this is a pretty neat little fixture you got this tank mounted on. That makes it nice and easy.
Oh yeah, this is the MPDR vice stand kit, and it's a system that basically holds motorcycle tanks and fenders.
Ah, so you build this here and sell it?
Oh yeah, we make it here. It's meant for your shop or portable in the back of a pickup truck.
So you put it right into the receiver hitch then?
That's right.
Hey, that's cool.
That's a nice piece. If you're doing this on a mobile basis, got to have one of these fixtures. Looks like it's got a nice aluminum extrusion here. And you got brackets and stuff to hold fenders and tanks.
We have a whole kit and a system that allows you all different types of configurations to be able to mount these tanks and fenders.
Cool.
Well, now that you've taken that out and I saw how you do it, I think you could probably save this Chevelle.
Well,
Can I bring it around?
let's check it out.
All right, I'll go get it.
I'm going to go look around, see how things are made here. You know, Ultradent Tools makes everything themselves right here in America, and I'll tell you, first thing I found is Tony, who's a programmer and operator, this is a water jet. Now this water jet is used to cut steel. Like a lot of times they cut, these are the handles for the tool. They're welded on, of course they're dipped in rubber, and you can see what that handle looks like, cut out of steel. And normally when a water jet operates, this foam is over the nozzle to prevent spray. Tony took it off for us so we can watch this thing work. And he's doing something special for us today. You can see here, he's programmed in Motorhead Garage. Now, if you've never seen a water jet work, this water jet's got 50,000 PSI. It's dangerous stuff. You don't want to be near it, but it cuts the steel. It does a great job. It's crisp. It's clean. Where do you see these pieces? Okay, folks, we're going to be back with more of our visit from Ultradent right after this.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, folks, we've been out in California at Ultradent Tools seeing what they can do. Let's continue on. Let's check it out. We got the Chevelle inside, and Steve is getting ready to go ahead and take this dent out. And I see you got a whole array of tools here, man.
I got a whole bunch of them.
Now, it takes all those kind of tools to do virtually any kind of dent that you want to do on here, doesn't it?
There's a lot of different applications and areas where we have to access, and so that's why we have so many different tools.
Mm-hmm. So if, I mean, somebody's got like hail damage up on the roof and on the hood, the deck.
Right.
You use a variety of tools for those.
There's a multitude of different areas that we need to be able to access, and so we've got a whole range of small blades, thin blades to bigger rods.
And you're going through all the little holes and cracks and crevices inside the car in order to get in there.
Any little access point that we can get to, we're going to sneak through that.
So that's why you have to have all those varieties, right?
That's right.
Okay, now we got the Chevelle in here, and I see you've already got it rigged up here. Tell me a little bit about what you've done here now.
We got this dent here that you got, and so we lifted the hood up. We got some hood props in here. We've got a rope ratchet that's securing the hood down so it's in place and it won't move. And there's actually an access hole right here that I can go in through and leverage off of to remove that dent.
Oh, I see, yeah. So you can get right into there. So now that is going to take a special tool to get in there because the dent is right here.
Yeah, because the inner brace is up in there a little bit close to it, so it doesn't have too much space, so I won't be able to get a big tool, so I'm going to have to get a thinner blade tool and sneak up over the brace.
Wow, Steve, that's unbelievable. You can't feel a thing.
You happy with that?
More than happy.
Well, good.
That is
good.
really great.
Yeah, it came out pretty good. It's a good thing it wasn't aluminum.
You do aluminum too?
Yeah, it's a little bit
I
tougher
want
than
to see
aluminum.
how you do aluminum.
Okay, no problem.
All right, well, while he shows us that, let's check out Sam, see what he's up to.
You know, actually, Dave, looks like I got some of your golf clubs here. Jeff's an operator here. This is a bending station. This is a high carbon stainless. Going to put it in an induction heater, and it's an electric heater. Immediately heats it, 10, 15 seconds, and it's done. Then he's going to put it on this bending machine and put a bend in it. That way he knows exactly where he's going to have it. It gets it hot, and it only heats that immediate area, so he can still handle it. Puts it in his jig, push the button, bang, it's bent. And when these tools are got all the bends in them and they're ready, they will be heat treated, they'll be polished out. It really makes some beautiful stuff here.
Aluminum panels now that you're going to find on the cars, and there's a lot more of that coming into the industry now, and it's a little bit different to work on, isn't it?
It's a little bit more difficult because aluminum doesn't have the memory that steel has, and so it takes a lot more pressure to actually get the dents out. You can do it, and the paint's actually very forgiving on aluminum, so the paint is very manipulated.
Yeah.
It works very well, but very tough to get out.
So you've developed a whole new process for doing that too, right?
Well, we really haven't developed a whole new process, but we have perfected the process of taking dents out of aluminum with special tools, sharp tools. We have some specific tools that we use. Yeah.
All right, and you got, I can see that you got a little dent in there already. Look like, could be like hail or something, you know?
That's like your typical hail dent right there, about a quarter-size dent.
Okay. Oh man, that's amazing, Steve. That worked out pretty nice.
Here's where they're making a brand new product. This is the Ultravision light, the plastic extrusion with molded end caps, got 3 LED strips in it. It's an awesome product. They make it right here in-house. This is the kind of stuff you need if you're going to do serious dent repair. You light this up, it gives you the profile of the dent. You really need these to do a good job, and they work awesome. Here's another really neat machine. This is a horizontal miller, okay? It's CNC, 4-axis. It takes a block of aluminum like this and turns it into a finished part like this. Complete drilled, it's chamfered, really a beautiful piece. Happens all automatically that way. They got terrific duplication, good quality control. Machine does an excellent job. Pretty expensive piece of equipment, but it turns out nice stuff. This is like being in a toy shop, you know? Right now, we need to take a break, so stick around. We got a lot more coming.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Ultra Dent, manufacturer of paintless dent repair tools. Original Parts Group, the world's largest source for GMA body parts and accessories. Borla, the world's most winning exhaust. And by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener.
Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, folks, we've been out in California at Ultra Dent Tools. We've learned a lot, haven't we, Sam?
And there's a lot to learn. We sure have. Got some great tools, some great equipment, and some great technique. Let's take a look.
Steve, you know, people have seen guys in body shops pulling out dents, and they'll weld those little studs on a dent, then take a slide hammer and pull those things out. Well, you're doing it a little bit differently, only you're doing it paintlessly.
That's right.
Tell me how you do that.
We have a way of doing it paintless, and it's a supplemental process to the paintless dent removal process. And what it is we take a pull tab. Depending on the size of the dent, we'll take a size of a tab that would fit the dent, and we'll use hot glue. We'll put hot glue onto the tab, and we'll actually push the tab down into the dent, and we'll use a device, a pulling device, to actually pull the dent from the top side.
Now, what about, won't that pull off the paint?
It won't on OEM finishes, but you really got to be careful on repaints, because sometimes when cars are prepared improperly, it has a tendency to want to pull the paint.
Depends on the quality of the repaint then, doesn't it?
That's right.
All right, let's show me how you do this.
Okay. So this is the size tab that I'm going to use for this dent right here. We've got a dent that's about a nickel size. And take hot glue, put our hot glue, we'll put a substantial amount of glue onto the tab without it running off. Take the tab, pull it, put it right down into the center of the dent. And we're going to let it sit for 2 minutes.
Okay, so while that glue is setting up then, kind of like watching a pot boil, isn't it?
We got to wait and let the glue, we got to let it cook and cure basically long enough to solidify to where it'll bond on there, and then we'll come back in. We're going to use this mini lifter.
Okay.
And we're going to pull it from the top side. So this.
All right, now that fits, let's see, let me pull this. That fits like what, around there?
The
Like,
pulling head actually fits onto the head of the tab, so it slips down into that little groove right there. And then we've got a spring mechanism that we actually squeeze and pull that thing up.
good, that's pretty cool. Okay, now Steve, I noticed when you pull this up, now it's high. What are you going to do about that?
Well, that's how it works with glue pulling, Dave. You have to pull it up a little bit past level and then tap
Then
it
you
back
take it
down.
back down.
So
Okay.
we have a special knockdown punch that we use to tap it down. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to use my 18-volt portable mini light.
Now these lights, I noticed you use, we haven't said anything about it, but these lights help you to see these dents, don't they?
Absolutely. It allows me to see clarity and definition in the panel so I can read what's high and what's low.
Okay.
Okay,
Now they
there you
check
go.
that. Holy mackerel. It's gone. It's amazing.
That's how you do it.
That is amazing.
Tell you what,
You just missed it, buddy. You just missed it.
what'd you do?
Well, he just took a dent out of here, pulling it with the glue. Amazing.
That is amazing, looks great. This whole place is great. You gotta see the machinery, all the stuff I've seen, man, it's great. But you know, we've been here, we came here to get that little Chevelle dent out. We've been here all day.
Well, yeah, I know, and I appreciate you getting that thing out too. So,
Speaking of that Chevelle, Dave,
Yeah.
would you be interested in selling that thing?
yeah, I think we can talk.
All right.
We can talk.
You better dig
need to
deep
talk
if you're
about
dealing with him.
Well, Sam, I don't know about you, but I love making these road trips, especially if we go out to California and see all of our buddies out there.
Absolutely, we've had a lot of fun. But again, we're out of time, so we'll see you next time here at Motorhead Garage.
Take care.